Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, so anyway, we're talking about degenerative diseases. We're talking about how degenerative diseases develop. It's all about chaos. The body's a system, and systems require structure. Structure is the opposite of chaos. A healthy body has to have structure. And the cells that make up the body are also systems, and they require structure. What we call nutrition, the mighty 90 essential nutrients, these are structuring agents. That's how they work. They structure electricity. They give electricity form. They give energy, which is random and chaotic. They give it a certain structure and a form. And without these nutrients, energy becomes chaos. That's the purpose of vitamins and minerals and the mighty 90 essential nutrients. If anybody ever asked you, or if you yourself thought to yourself, what are vitamins? What are minerals? What do they do? This is what they do. They solidify chaotic energy. Without nutrition, energy becomes chaos. Micronutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, and fats and amino acids, what we call the mighty 90 essential nutrients, these temporarily hold energy. The macronutrients, the protein and the fats and the sugar, the big nutrients, they permanently or semi-permanently hold the energy. So the vitamins and minerals are like temporary holding stations for energy, and then they deliver that energy to the macronutrients, and the structure of the body is formed that way. So the vitamins and the minerals, they temporarily hold energy so it can be transferred over to the macronutrients to make up the body. And all of this, by the way, is happening inside a cell. All of this energy, all this activity, all this holding and transferring and building, it's all taking place inside this miraculous little conscious entity that we have 100 trillion of called the cell. When we're sick, somehow this energy holding and transferring and building, it's somehow not working like it should. And one of the major reasons is because we're deficient in these little temporary holding stations, the vitamins and the minerals. Something is breaking down in this process of energy holding and transferring and building, not outside the cell, inside the cell. That's why we say all disease is cell disease. This energy movement, this holding of energy and building and structuring and building, it's somehow not working, and it's inside the cell. And the reason your doctor doesn't tell you this, well, he doesn't know probably, but even if he knew, he wouldn't tell you, because medicine is not allowed inside a cell. The only way medicine can get inside a cell is by tricking the cell, or by poisoning the cell, or by overwhelming the cell. They got to damage the cell to get inside it. That's the big flaw. That's the fly in the ointment. That's the gorilla in the room that nobody's talking about in the drug business. Partially because they don't know, but even if they did know, they wouldn't say it. Drugs are not allowed in the sacred space of a cell where all of this energy transferring and building and structuring is going on. So they got to poison the cell, or they got to trick the cell. They got to fool it, make it look like it's a vitamin, make the drug look like a vitamin. It's really nasty business when you think about it. Poor little cell. Cells are always doing something. They're always active or overactive. In fact, this overactivity is really what is ultimately the cause of death. This overactivity of a cell is really what causes diseases. It's an overactivity. Not an underactivity. It's an overactivity. Fibrosis, too much fibers, fluid accumulation, too much fluids being secreted. There's a kind of chaos that's going on in a cell, and the cells are going nuts. The braking agents, the stabilizing agents are missing. All that energy, all that chaotic energy has to be stabilized so production can occur. Sick cells don't need more energy. They need stable energy, controlled energy. Disease is the result of a cellular hyperactive chaotic state. Health is not about more cell activity, it's about stable activity, and this is why medicine doesn't work. Medicine cannot stabilize activity. Stabilizing is sophisticated. It's highly sophisticated. We don't understand anything about how vitamins and nutrients stabilize and hold on to energy. We don't need to. We just got to eat correctly and make sure we're using our mighty 90 essential nutrients. We don't need to understand it. Nutrients do what drugs cannot. Drugs and surgeries and radiation cannot stabilize a cell. They can't do anything to stabilize a cell. Nutrients can. That's called normalization. In the world of skincare, the most important normalizing vitamin, by the way, is vitamin A. This is why vitamin A is such a fantastic vitamin for the skin, among other reasons. It's a normalizing vitamin. If you're making too many cells, if your cells are dividing too fast, and you end up with pimples, blemishes, or plaques of psoriasis, or if there's too many inflammatory factors being secreted and you end up with eczema, vitamin A has an ability to kind of slow things down. On the other hand, if you have wrinkles and you're not making enough collagen, vitamin A can increase the production, help cells make more collagen. That's why vitamin A will work for both acne and psoriasis and for anti-aging. It normalizes. It's a normalizing vitamin. And this is one of the major ways that vitamins in general work. They normalize. They bring the ups down and the downs up, and there's no drugs that can do it. But this normalization, of course, normalization activity, it requires energy. It requires some kind of energetics. And this is where vitamin E and the ketogenic diet come in. They kind of stabilize things. They stabilize the energy so it can be directed. They calm things down, and they work together. Vitamin E and the ketogenic diet work together. That's how we started talking about this. Vitamin E is the ketogenic diet's best vitamin friend. Vitamin E is just a great vitamin for lots of things. It stabilizes cortisol. It's important for the stressors, for helping control the stress response. It modulates the immune system if you're dealing with shingles, or you're dealing with acne, or you're dealing with inflammatory issues, or any immune issues, viruses, chicken pox, whatever, herpes. Vitamin E modulates the immune system, and it thins out the blood. Vitamin E is a great blood. Vitamin E is such a darn good blood thinner that your doctor will tell you not to take vitamin E if you're going into surgery because it'll thin your blood too much. Okay, we'll take a break, come back with more good health information on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back right after this. Okay. So, vitamin E is just a fabulously, unbelievably important vitamin for so many reasons, but not the least of which is the fact that we don't get much vitamin E unless we're supplementing. When I was in pharmacy school, they used to say you didn't need to supplement with vitamin E. They didn't even believe it was necessary, that vitamin E was an essential nutrient. Vitamin E is by far and away the most powerful nutritional supplement to add to your ketogenic diet if you're doing ketogenic. If you're going ketogenic, they work together. They're all important, but vitamin A is the most important of all the ketogenic diets supporting vitamins. Vitamin E calms things down. Vitamin E stabilizes the energy that you're going to get from the ketogenic diet. It's a blood thinner, as I was saying before the break. So important, so powerful as a blood thinner that doctors are wary of it if you're going into surgery. If you're dealing with clotted blood, and many of us are, first of all, you're dealing with a blood toxicity issue, but nonetheless, vitamin E can has a very well-documented ability to help thin the blood, partially because of its effect on stabilizing the action of red blood cells. Do you know you have 1/4 of the cells of your body are red blood cells? You have 100 trillion cells in your body, and 25 trillion of them are red blood cells. And the red blood cells are turning over really fast. This is one of the major ways that vitamin E impacts health positively, is by stabilizing red blood cells. So vitamin E is a stabilizing nutrient, stabilizes electrical energy, supports the ketogenic diet. It gives the ketogenic diet an ability to provide more power and more torque. That's how the ketogenic diet works. It gives you more torque, more power. Not more speed, but more power. Particularly for brain health, and vitamin E and the ketogenic diet work together for brain health, for movement disorders, for Parkinson's disease, for Alzheimer's disease, and for seizure disorders. I get so many letters from folks who are dealing with themselves or for their children dealing with seizure disorders. The ketogenic diet is tried and true. And vitamin E, by the way, is tried and true too, for at least supporting the anti-seizure benefits of the ketogenic diet, but on its own, it's got anti-seizure benefits, vitamin E. And by the way, you know the anticonvulsant drugs they give you? These Tegratols and Depakotes, these are not nice drugs at all. If you're on any of these anticonvulsant drugs, you should at least consider using vitamin E in the ketogenic diet, at the very least to reduce your dose of the anticonvulsant, of the Tegretol or the Depakote, wherever you're using. Not to mention weaning yourself off of it. You may be able to completely wean yourself off of it. And there's lots of nutrients, by the way. It's not just vitamin E in the ketogenic diet for seizure disorders. Zinc, progesterone, pregnenolone. Progesterone and pregnenolone are really underutilized, in my humble opinion, for excitation types of illnesses like seizure disorders. Did you know that anticonvulsant meds are now being used for bipolar disorder and for chronic pain issues, fibromyalgia? Have you seen all these commercials for something called Lyrica? I've been meaning to talk about Lyrica. Pregabalin. How do you say it? Pregabalin. If you look at the word, P-R-E-G-A-B-A, you'll see GABA in there. Pregabalin, they call it, or pregabalin. But pregabalin has GABA right in the word, G-A-B-A. What is GABA? GABA is a calming neurotransmitter, calming brain chemical, G-A-B-A. So they're using this Lyrica for fibromyalgia, neuropathies. And they'll tell you, well, we don't know how it works. Well, I'm telling you how it works. It's the GABA, which, by the way, itself comes from the ketogenic diet. GABA, G-A-B-A, is gamma, G, amino, A, butyric acid. Butyric acid is one of those short-chain fats we talk about a lot on this program that come from the ketogenic diet. So in a way, Lyrica is just a drug version of the ketogenic diet. You see how simple all this stuff comes? It all boils down to the same basic ideas over and over and over again. The ketogenic diet calms things down. That's why they're using pregabalin for fibromyalgia and neuropathies, because of the same things, the same kind of benefits you get from ketogenesis. They say no one knows how it works. That's the current conventional wisdom. No one knows how it works. Well, I'm telling you how it works. GABA and butyric acid. So vitamin E protects things. It protects fats. So if you're using the ketogenic diet, go vitamin E, 400 IU a day. You can't make your vitamin E. You're not making it, and you're not getting it from foods. Another place where vitamin E's normalizing and stabilizing benefits become important is as a counterbalance to estrogen. Estrogen is the classic hype you up hormone. For some reason, I think it has to do with a book that came out back in the 1960s. But even to this day, we have this idea that estrogen is some kind of feminizing youthful hormone. That's because it's involved in helping us be more fertile, helping women be more fertile. It's involved in fertility. But it's not a youth hormone. It's a stress hormone. It's a way that we handle, it's one of nature's biochemical techniques or tricks for helping our bodies handle stress. And it will amp you up. Vitamin E stabilizes estrogen. It's a counterbalance to estrogen. Estrogen is not a kind and gentle youth-promoting anti-aging hormone. It's a pro-inflammatory stress hormone. This is why more women than men suffer from inflammatory diseases, autoimmune diseases, Alzheimer's disease. Also, estrogen has to be cleared out through the action of good bacteria, excess estrogen, poorly broken down estrogen. It's not even so much estrogen that's the problem, although estrogen will hype things up. It's the breakdown product of estrogen. Estrogen breakdown, or they say metabolism, but we'll just say breakdown. Estrogen breakdown is a very complicated process. And unfortunately, in the breakdown process, toxic estrogens are produced. That's usually not a problem if we're healthy, because these toxic estrogens are then cleared out of the body, mostly through the bowels. However, if we're dealing with constipation, if we're dealing with dysbiosis or messed up gut bacteria, if we're dealing with deficiencies in fiber, if we're dealing with vitamin E deficiencies, none of this is going to happen as it should, and these toxic estrogens will build up, and boom, you'll have an autoimmune disease or Alzheimer's. Or any kind of inflammatory issue. Fibromyalgia, you guys, is the classic estrogenic dysfunctional gut disease. And guess what? Doctors say, we don't know what causes it. Well, I'm telling you what causes it. And if you don't believe me, fast for a couple of days and watch what happens to your symptoms. This is why fasting is so important, by the way. It slows things down. It calms things down. It gives the body a chance to stabilize. It gives cellular activity a chance to become stabilized. All right, so if you're dealing with any estrogenic health issues, which is a lot of them, degenerative disease issues, inflammatory issues, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, think vitamin E. Think ketogenic diet. Think probiotics. Think gut health. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. From Neurobiology of Aging, autumn 1982, quote, lipid peroxides, those are nasty fatty chemicals that cause toxicity during aging, are associated with vitamin E deficiency. How do you like that? Vitamin E deficient rats showed decreases in various brain markers here. I won't get into the specifics of the types of brain markers associated with a healthy brain. Another one, Journal of Neuroscience. This was from October 1998. Long-term dietary vitamin E supplementation, or strawberries and spinach, by the way, which are sources of vitamin E, retard the onset of age-related neuronal signal transduction. That means brain health, basically. Slows down brain degeneration with vitamin E. For spinal cord injuries, for all kinds of brain traumas, for metabolic syndrome, which is a diabetes-related issue. I'm telling you, the benefits of these things, and this is from the literature. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen the healing properties of vitamin E with my own eyes. When I was dosing people with vitamin E or suggesting people dose themselves with vitamin E, for wounds, for healing wounds, it's unbelievable for healing wounds, their blood pressure would drop. Or their sexual performance would improve. Their libido would improve. That's another thing that vitamin E is important for, is libido and fertility. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you. Let's hit the phones and go to Shirley in California. What's up, Shirley? Welcome to the bright side.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Ben.
Pharmacist Ben.
Yes, I have puffy eyes, puffy bags under my eyes.
Okay.
And I've been successful in shrinking them with fennel, essential oil, and with coconut.
Tell me about that. What are you doing? Applying it right to the eye?
No, under the, where the bags are.
I mean, right to the bag. That's what I mean. Right to the area under the bags. You're not taking them orally. In other words, you're not drinking the essential oil, water, fennel. Okay.
No, but right now it's not doing it anymore. So
well, of course it's not, because it's not a skin issue, sweetheart. Shirley, let me tell you about this, because this really gets my goat when I see all these ads. I got one from a doctor the other day, and I was just so ticked off. I was gonna call him out on the air, but I'm not going to do that. Where they tell you about you rub this skincare product under your eyes and the bags will go away. Well, that's baloney. Okay, let me explain to why. They take advantage of our misunderstanding or our non-understanding of what the skin is. So let's talk about what the skin is. I know we do this periodically, but it's a subject that's near and dear to my heart. Okay, so you got bags under your eyes, right? First of all, recognize that the skin under your eyes is the thinnest skin in your body. So under your eyes, you have an instant window, or a relatively instant window, to what's happening in your blood, because you can see through it. You know what I'm saying? The skin is very thin there. Okay.
Fragile.
They're very fragile. That's correct. The skin under there is very fragile because it's very, very thin. So here's the deal. We have to understand that the skin is made up of layers. And within the layers, you have non-skin. Okay? So the skin is made up of layers. Just think of a cake. Think of a layer cake, okay? And within that layer cake, you have a wiring and tubules. But the tubules themselves are not part of the cake. They're not part of the skin. The tubules carry fluid, okay? And then deeper still, you have a layer of fat. And that's how the skin is, okay? You got the skin, which is made up like a layer cake, and then you got tubules running through that layer cake, okay? And that carries fluid, blood and lymph. And then underneath the whole thing, you got a bunch of fat. Can you picture that now?
Okay, and
okay.
lymph. Oh, okay.
Okay, it's called lymph. It's a fluid that carries waste as well as some nutrients. Okay, but I just want you to think of I want you to imagine this. Okay, because if we can't imagine this in our mind's eye, then we're just going to trust whatever silly thing a doctor tells us or a commercial tells us to do. But if we can picture what's happening here, it'll start to make sense. So you got your skin, right? This is all skin, head to toe. Top of your head, bottom of your feet. All the skin is made up of layers. You have like a layer cake. Layer one, layer like baklava. You know what baklava is?
Yes.
You know how it's made up in layers?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how your skin is. It's made up in these layers. And within these layers, you have these tubes that are carrying blood and lymph. And this is true about the skin on your wrist, or the true skin on your toe, or the skin on your eye, everywhere. Now, underneath the whole thing, you have fat. So can you picture that now? Layer cake, okay, layer, baklava, plumbing, circulation, fluid, and then fat, a layer of fat. Here's the take-home message. This is so important. I want you to hear this now, and everybody listening. If you got bags under the eyes or any skin problem, this is the take-home message. The skin, the layers that make up the baklava are different in nature from the tubes. And they are different in nature from the fat. These are three distinct types of stuff. You've got the layers that make up the baklava, you've got the tubes, and you've got the fat. Make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Are you with me? Really?
Yeah.
Can you picture this?
Yeah. You mentioned
okay.
the Y-ring tubulars. Was that correct?
No, they're like tubes, like miniature microscopic tubes that carry blood and carry lymph. They're vessels. They're like like blood flow, like blood tubes, like blood veins and arteries, but they're basically microscopic. They're capillaries. They're tiny, tiny, tiny. Okay? Here's the problem. When you have bags under your eyes, where do you think the bags are occurring? What do you think is causing the bags? Do you think it's the skin? Do you think it's the tubes? Or do you think it's the fat?
I think the fluid is...
You hit the nail on the head, Shirley. It's the fluid. It's not the skin. You have a fluid issue, not a skin issue, but you're applying your product to the skin. You see why it's important to make this distinction? If you don't know it, think it's all one thing, and it looks like one thing, especially in the eye, it's so thin, you're going to think, well, I'll just rub it on. No, you got to get in the fluid. The phenol's not getting in the fluid, Shirley. Your cream that you're spending at $500 or $100 or $200 or $50, your eye cream, it's not getting to the fluid. And it's even worse than that, because if you got a fluid problem in your eye, you got a fluid problem everywhere. You have a circulation problem. That means you're running high risk for heart disease if you don't already have it. You follow me?
I've had a heart attack, but...
Okay. This is what I'm... Do you see how it's connected? But if you don't... Sure. But if I didn't just spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes, probably, hopefully not boring anybody with this, because it's very important. If I didn't just spend 10 minutes with you to having you imagine this, you would just rub a cream on your eye. And that's what 99.9% of people do. Estheticians do it. Dermatologists do it. And customers do it, and clients do it, because we don't make this distinction between. That's why distinctions are so important. I'm always talking about distinctions on the show, making distinctions. If we don't make a distinction between these three components, the tubules and the skin and the fat, we're just going to rub something on and hope for the best. That's how skincare works. Rub it on and hope for the best. And by the way, the fat underneath also plays a role. The fat can also cause problems. So hang tight, Shirley. We'll finish up when we come back, okay? Don't go away. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. We're talking to Shirley in California. Shirley, you there?
I'm still there. Uh-huh.
Okay, so I hope I wasn't too hard on you there. I didn't mean to be. Okay.
No, I'm getting it. But I'm thinking you're going towards jumping and maybe some more.
Yeah, Shirley, you should be a guest host on this show. You must be.
I've done a lot of work with this stuff because.
It's a circulation issue. And the reason I get so ticked off when people try to sell you products is, number one, because it's not going to work and it's a ripoff. But number two, it misleads you into thinking you have a skin problem when you don't. You have a circulation problem, which is affecting your heart, and it's affecting your kidneys, and it's affecting your longevity. You see what I'm saying? It's not cosmetic. Now, there's a whole fat issue, too. I don't have time to get into that, but rest assured you're depositing fats, too. That's not the bagginess. That's more like that's sort of a puffy, not a puffiness really, but you can sort of see fat deposits under the eye. That has to do with the lymph. But again, that circulation is really what you want to focus on, even if it's the fat deposits. All right? So get on a rebounder, absolutely. Start using vitamin E, which is amazingly important for the lymph.
I'm on high doses of vitamin E right now.
Stay on the high doses of vitamin E. Make sure you're using the Healthy Start Pack and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You can do lymphatic massage. That will help. And you can also do...
Brushing.
Yeah, brushing's good. That's not for the lymph necessarily, but brushing is good. And then also hanging upside down. If you do an inversion device, I don't know if you've ever seen those, but those are.
Really? Yeah, I do have one.
Get on it. That'll make a huge.
I haven't used it in a while because of the knee. You know, it hangs. You have to hang from your knee, basically.
You don't want to. Yeah, it might it has a pulling effect, but still, it's great for the lymph. Unbelievable, and for the heart too. If you have any digestive issues, you need to correct those. But you know what to do, Shirley. Have you been listening to the program for a while?
Yeah. Yes. So what if I just did forward bend? So I'm just like hanging my head down.
That'll help. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am, that will help. Anything you do to go upside down. Because the lymph doesn't have a way of going upwards. But when you hang upside down, gravity will pull it down. But when you're standing upright, the lymph is depending on you to move around. That's why you got to move. Deep breathing is another way to move the lymph, and it's also a great strategy anyway. And when you're deep breathing, always exhale more than you inhale.
So nothing topical. You can.
No, it's not a topical condition. Now there's some if there's some inflammation in there, which sometimes there is, you might get some benefits, some anti-inflammatory benefits by using the things like the fennel, vitamin C. But really, you want to focus on the circulation. That's what you're looking at.
Okay.
Okay, Shirley.
All right.
Thanks for
Thank you for the help.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. Okay, let's go to Oklahoma. Is okay. What's up, Justin?
Hey, I was wondering on the. You were talking the other day, I believe, on that lecithin being an emulsifier. Is that correct?
Yes, yes,
correct?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Could you use that by mixing the coffee with the coconut oil and butter and all that?
Absolutely.
Would it help on that?
Absolutely, it will. It'll make that. That's the bulletproof coffee thing you're talking about. Yeah, it will make the coconut oil go into the coffee more effectively, and it'll make it creamier. I mean, it's more aesthetic. It'll help absorption a little bit as well. It'll definitely help the absorption as well, but it'll make it more palatable and creamy. Lecithin always makes things creamy. You know what? I haven't tried that. Is it tasty, the coconut oil in the coffee?
It's pretty good. It's an acquired taste the first time.
Okay, well, I'm not a coffee drinker, so can't say too much, but fats tend to amplify flavors. So if you like coffee, it's going to amplify the flavor of the coffee. I wonder, and I'm just thinking aloud here, maybe you want to try this, if you cracked an egg in there, what would happen? Or is that too gross? I'm not a coffee drinker, so I can't tell you. But
I'll try it and I'll let you know.
Let me know, because an egg has lecithin in it, and you'll up the protein value. Would you give us a call and let us know how that works?
Yeah,
a raw egg. You know, people think raw eggs are gross. They're not. You ever hear of this thing called an orange Julius?
Yes.
You know what that is, or what it originally was?
Orange juice and raw egg.
You got it. The egg makes the orange juice really nice and creamy. I wonder if it would do the same thing for the coffee. Would you call us and let us know if you try it?
Yeah.
Okay, Justin. I hope I helped you. Thanks, man.
Yep. Thanks.
All right. Let's go to Karl, the Truth Raider. What's up, Truth Raider? Welcome to the bright side.
Bonjour, monsieur. Pharmacist.
What's going on? What's going on? Truth Raider, give me some, help me out here. What's going on?
You're going to need to be able to if you're going to Toronto, Ontario.
Oh, I'm going to Toronto. That's right. Thank you for the plug. Thank you.
Oui.
That's not French, though. Toronto's not France. Or not French Canada. French Canada. Montreal is.
The eastern side of Canada, so I'm sure they have...
They probably speak a little French there, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Sure. Hey, I've got this thing that's going on where I told you about it before, maybe a couple of years ago. I was concerned about it. And you said, well, that's not normal, though. But right where the sternum is...
You sure I wasn't talking about you?
Yeah. It's definitely about me. I'm not normal.
Okay. Nobody's normal. No, there's no such thing as normal. That's a myth.
On the left side of my rib cage, at the base of the rib cage, there's like a cartilage that pops, and it presses back and forth and buckles. It kind of like does a little bit of a popping sound. And I asked you about it, and you said that's not normal to do.
Yeah, you're falling apart, bro. You got MBFA. You know what MBFA disease is? My body is falling apart disease.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's the only disease there is. My body is falling apart disease. They want to name everything so you can have specialists, and you have to go to a specialist. You have to go to a rib cracking specialist, Karl, the Truth Raider, and the rib cracking specialist will give you special rib cracking drugs and rib cracking protocols. And we specialize in rib crack. No, your body's falling apart. And I don't mean that facetiously. I'm trying just to make a point. This is how we break down. And Karl, with all due respect, at the age of, I'm 56, this is when it starts to happen. If we don't start to take care of ourselves with the mighty 90 essential nutrients, with controlling the amount of calories that we ingest, with making sure we're going ketogenic and using all these ideas we talk about on the bright side, staying away from sugar, and mental and emotional strategies and spiritual strategies as well, it's inevitable that gravity will kick in. It's called entropy. It's a law of physics. You know what I'm saying? It kicks in. Life is anti-entropy, and it takes energy to be anti-entropy. This is all physics, really, at the end of the day. I don't want to get all technical on it, everybody here, but gravity kicks in and entropy kicks in, and you're breaking down. There's connective tissue that holds everything together. Yeah. And when that connective tissue starts to break down, the pieces start to fall apart, to fall down. I got a call yesterday, or a text yesterday from a friend of mine. She says, what do we have for prolapsed uterus or prolapsed bladder? And you know what a prolapse is, by the way. What you're experiencing is a type of prolapse. Have you heard the term prolapses? Prolapses is when the organs fall down because the connective tissue starts to break up. Well, the same thing happens to the joints, and it happens to the ribs, and it happens to the muscles. The connective tissue starts to break down. That's how we fall apart. That's what MBFA disease is. The connective tissue is falling apart. So what do you do? Karl, the Truth Raider. You got to turn it around, man. We want you around for a while. So turn it around.
But what's going on, Ben? Coupling with that is that sometimes when I raise up or I stretch or move in a certain way or bend down or do any type of an exercise that involves the center area of my body right here, the solar plex, is that I get this intense, tight cramp that comes up like a hernia type of cramp.
Well, a hernia is an example of the connective tissue breaking down, but it sounds to me like you're describing more cramping.
Yeah, and right in that same area.
Okay, that's an electrical issue. Again, in the long run, it's going to cause things to break down, but right now it's an electrical issue. So start using electrical nutrients. Lots of them. The electrical nutrients are your water-soluble nutrients primarily, the B complex and the electrolytes.
Okay.
And deficiencies are common because we urinate them out. So unless you're replacing your electrolytes and your B vitamins and your vitamin C throughout the day, the likelihood is great that you're going to become deficient sometime in the middle of the day. So what you want to do is you want to sip on your BTT all day. You want to use vegetable juices, which are an amazingly important source of electrolytes, making them fresh, not V8, but making them fresh. When you spin the vegetables in a blender, you spin the electrolytes and you create an electrical charge. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be amping up electrical energy. Now later on, you're going to need to stabilize that energy, and that's where vitamin E comes in. And vitamin E, by the way, has some really nice anti-cramping benefits, but it takes a little bit of time for the vitamin E to work because vitamin E is fat soluble. But the electrolytes, those will work quickly. And even any electrolyte drink that you can get, Rebound FX, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, as well as the veggie juices, even salt water, Karl, the Truth Raider.
Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna get one more call in, buddy, okay?
All right, I'll get started on that. Vitamin E, and I'll get the protein drink. I'm taking a couple of those things, too, as well.
Protein will help, too, but make sure you're using the electrolytes.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Take care. All right, Matthew in Texas, you get the last word. What's up, brother? Matthew. Hey, Matthew, what's going on, man?
Hey, Ben, I've been listening to your show for years. I love you, man. You're doing a great thing.
Thank you.
I got a question that I wanted to ask you about. I have a daughter who is 5 years old. She consumes lots of vegetable juices and things like that, probably a higher level of sugars with the number of apples and things like that, carrots. She just eats those all day. But she has enamel dysplasia. And I wanted to ask you if you had any suggestions about that.
Bacteria, mouth bacteria. That's what I'd be focused on. Yes. Make sure she probiotics. Make sure she's using. There's a very important relationship between oral bacteria and gut bacteria. I would suspect she's got some dysbiosis. Hey, I got 30 seconds. If you can call back or you want to send me an email, ben@ksco.com, I'll help you out. But focus on the gut and probiotics. That's what it sounds like to me. But if you want to contact me, I'll give you some personal help. Thanks for your call, Matthew. All right, that's all the time we have for today. We'll be back at you tomorrow with more good health information. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful, beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
75 years ago, America suffered one of the worst moments in American history, the attack on Pearl Harbor. Now you can remember December 7th, 1941, with the purchase of the first ever 75th anniversary Pearl Harbor legal tender solid gold coin from the U.S. Money Reserve. Call 1-800-490-3200 right now for the official 75th anniversary Pearl Harbor legal tender gold coin from the U.S. Money Reserve, the only company authorized to distribute these 100% solid gold coins. Remember Pearl Harbor with this limited official gold release. 1-800-490-3200 or online at usmoneyreserve.com.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com. Or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Dr. Joel Wallach here. If you're a baby boomer and you're worried about the big epidemics coming, and I'm not talking about the bird flu or the swine flu, I'm talking about epidemics of Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, arthritis, cancer. That's because the 80 million baby boomers followed all the advice of doctors, and Houston, we have a problem.
See Dr. Wallach live in Farmington, New Mexico, Thursday, May 12th at 7 p.m. Go to www.cdocinfarmington.com. That's www.cdocinfarmington.com.
Ben Fuchs is a registered pharmacist who has been using nutritional supplementation like medicines for decades, seeing tremendous health benefits. That's why he drinks Pollen Burst from Longevity's complete line of nutritional supplements.
Pollen Burst has got the B vitamins in there, and the B vitamins are so fascinating because most people are going to be deficient in the B vitamins because they're rapidly processed out of food. So if you're eating foods that are cooked, if you're eating foods that are frozen, if you're eating foods that are prepared in any way, you're going to be deficient in these B vitamins. And the B vitamins work on the parts of the body that move the fastest: the brain, the heart, the skin, and the digestive system. Those are the four systems that respond rapidly to the B vitamins.
To feel changes in your body's fast-moving systems, order Longevity's Pollen Burst by calling 877-551-1301. That's 877-551-1301, or on the web at InfoWarsTeam.com. That's InfoWarsTeam.com.
You've woke up to the deception. You understand how big government and corporations are controlling you. Guess what? The trail goes even deeper. When you want to learn the full truth, visit toolsforfreedom.com. We take you further into uncovering the conspiracy than you've ever been before. Click toolsforfreedom.com. Use coupon code RADIO to get a free DVD today. Or call 800-770-8802. That's 800-770-8802. Toolsforfreedom.com.
Bad news, Americans. You're probably stockpiling for a disaster all wrong. When the big one comes, you'll need more than that poisonous, oversalted survival food you now see everywhere. There are 3 vital things that your survival food is missing, and it's the first thing to disappear from grocery stores. Go to superfoodradio.com now to see my story of how I nearly died when I was forced to live on a popular survival food. That's superfoodradio.com, and I'll show you how everything you've been told about survival food is dead wrong. Go to superfoodradio.com now.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs knows the importance of proper digestion.
Make sure you take a look at the Ultimate Enzyme product. They're made with bile salts and fat digestion enzymes and protein digestive enzymes. And not only do the Ultimate Enzymes give you obvious benefits for digestion, but they can also help keep your blood flowing through your circulatory system. As most of you probably know by now, thick, sludgy, clotting blood is a serious risk factor for heart disease and stroke. Clearly, inappropriate and excessive blood clotting is a major health issue, and thick, sludgy blood is not just about heart health either. Sludgy blood can compromise oxygenation and nutrient delivery to all your cells and tissues and organs, and ultimately lead to almost any health issue you can name.
Concerned about proper digestion and heart health? Order Ultimate Enzymes by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 or on the web at brightside.com. That's brightside.com. Order today.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill. I had high blood pressure, diabetes, poor vision. I wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract. From within a few days, I started sleeping better. My blood pressure normalized. My diabetes normalized. My sleep improved.
Experience these benefits and more when your body heals itself with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Heart and Body Extract comes with a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com or 800-544-3533.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pileski of the Pileski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937. Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
You've woke up to the deception. You understand how big government and corporations are controlling you. Guess what? The trail goes even deeper. When you want to learn the full truth, visit toolsforfreedom.com. We take you further into uncovering the conspiracy than you've ever been before. Click toolsforfreedom.com. Use coupon code RADIO to get a free DVD today. Or call 800-770-8802. That's 800-770-8802. Toolsforfreedom.com.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
Remember Pearl Harbor. Now you can buy, for the first time ever, the 75th anniversary Pearl Harbor legal tender solid gold coin from the U.S. Money Reserve. Call 1-800-329-6700 right now or go online to usmoneyreserve.com. 1-800-329-6700.
Hi, my name is Nick Lupo. One World Whey has been by far the best protein that I've ever had. I take it 3 times a day. Once in the morning as soon as I wake, once for a pre-workout snack, and once for a post-workout recovery drink. It has helped me transform and sculpt my body into what I have now. I began taking the product about 2 years ago, and boy, let me tell you, I'm in the best shape of my life. I've seen major muscle mass gains and have 0% body fat. I have had people at my gym ask if I compete in bodybuilding because of how lean and muscular I am. I used to suffer from everyday aches and pains from hard manual labor my whole life and arthritis that runs through my family. But One World Whey has helped me take that everyday pain from a 10 to a 3. Some days I feel no pain at all, just full of life and energy. It has also helped my skin look younger and healthier. Thank you, Synergistic Nutrition, for One World Whey.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.